Boom, my people, my people. Good to see you guys. How you guys doing? I appreciate you guys tapping in, man. We're not gonna worry you long. Shout out to everybody who decided to tap in and check us out. Alabama versus LSU. How and where can we attack them? Alabama versus LSU, in my humble opinion, how and where can we attack them? Hope everybody doing great out there, man. Much love to you all. I really went back and I watched two games of LSU. I watched the LSU Texas A&M and I watched the LSU Ole Miss game. Right? Obviously, LSU beat Ole Miss. I think it was in overtime, and obviously Texas A&M just defeated them. Very, very good games. Very, very close games. But I really saw a lot of things, in my humble opinion, of how we can attack these guys, where we can attack these guys. I wanted to start with LSU on offense. I noticed when these guys were on offense, A&M had a lot of success bringing pressure to the short side of the field. I noticed that A&M, caught them in 3-by-1 a lot of times and brought pressure from the short side of the field, right? Um, A&M also manufactured a lot of simulated pressures from the front side of the formation, right? Bringing pressure to the short side, but simulating pressure on the front side of the formation, as we call it. When you simulate a lot of pressure on the front side of the formation, it causes imbalance. It causes like you to overprotect, if you will. For example, I've seen several times these guys had simulated pressures that it was two LSU offensive linemen trying to block one Texas A&M guy. That's what we want. That's what we want. I noticed that A&M played a lot of cover one, right? Cover one robber, if you will. Rushing three, dropping eight, that double robber. Some people use that terminology. Lots of rushing three, dropping eight, man. Really caused Garrett Nussmeier some issues later on in the game, even though he did throw for over 400. Early in the game, I noticed that LSU really did not create a lot of space, even though Texas A&M were playing man. Even though these guys were in man coverage early in the game, LSU did not create a ton of space. I noticed that Texas A&M had a lot of improper tackle, a lot of missed tackles, a lot of improper run fits, tackle fits, um, which allowed LSU to hit some big plays. Texas A&M early in that game was not fitting the run very well, even though LSU didn't have a lot of success running the ball. Right, the few plays that they did get, it was because of bad run fitting, and they would pop a 1 for 5 or 10 or 6 or 7 positive yardage, if you will. I noticed a play that LSU ran multiple times, right? They actually came back to this play later in the game. Same formation. They brought motion, a motion man across the formation. Sometimes orbit. That's what some people call rubber band, orbit, zipper, where the young man will come across the formation, turn around and go back across the formation, depending on down and distance, depending on where you line up at, how you line up. Um, and what was unique and interesting about their formation is the motion guy really didn't do anything but block. I noticed when they brought the guy across the formation, the motion guy, right before the snap, actually helped out the tight end or receiver, what it was on the edge, block the defensive end that was coming upfield. The defensive end, a la slash outside linebacker, whatever it was that was coming upfield. That's all he did. He came across the formation and helped chip block that guy. Um, QB counter read by LSU, um, by Nussmeier. Offensive line zone block down. These guys did really, really good job zone blocking the same way that the motion guy was coming. Motion guy coming across the formation, offensive line blocked down the same way, messing with the linebacker's eyes. They end up running the quarterback counter read inside zone. Uh, right off the what the 3 hole maybe, right? Nice gap, nice hole right there. They caught Texas A&M in two safety high. Um, these guys may have been playing split field coverage. I'm not sure, but I do know they were in two safety high. At the same time, it was a nice game, right? Great play formation, great play call, and these guys actually got good positive yardage. Um, Plays like that, they actually came back to those plays 2 or 3 times out of the same formation. The next time I noticed that they ran that, Texas A&M was ready for it. They actually had a safety come down and fit the run perfectly, so it didn't work. I think Texas A&M done an outstanding job of stopping these guys run, making them one dimensional. If I'm not mistaken, I think LSU only had 24 or so total rushing yards. So these guys did an outstanding job of stopping LSU's run, causing Nussmeier to have to throw the ball 50 plus times, right? Ole Miss, same thing. These guys came out, stopped the run. I think Nussmeier may have had 50 plus attempts again in that game. So I think the secret sauce is to make these guys one dimensional, to stop their run. I think Nussmeier will throw it all over the field. Now, I'm on record of saying this, and it may be just me, but I believe arm talent wise, Garrett Nussmeier is the best quarterback in our conference as far as that's concerned. Sure, he'll throw the ball to you. You know, he's a gunslinger. Most gunslingers do. Go ask Brett Favre. But with every interception they throw, they're going to throw 2, 3 touchdowns a game, right? Arm talent wise, I think he's better than Carson Beck. I think arm talent wise, and just slinging that thing all over the field, I think Garrett Nussmeier is the best quarterback in the SEC. I do believe I believe he's the most dangerous quarterback throwing the ball in this conference, interception or not. Remember, gunslingers do that. Gunslingers think they can fit the ball in any type of environment, any type of coverage. They think that their arm is powerful enough to fit the ball anywhere, right? And that sometimes gets them in trouble. That sometimes gets them in trouble. But this kid has a live arm, an absolute cannon. Um, and he'll throw it all over the yard. Sure, he'll throw you 1 or 2 picks, but he's going to throw 3 touchdowns in the process. Um, I do believe that 50 plus times, but that seems to be the remedy to beating these guys, stopping the run, taking your lumps with him throwing the ball. But that seems to be the formula for a win with these guys. Um, as far as LSU on defense, I noticed that Texas A&M ran the football right at them, right? Sure, they ran quarterback counter. They ran inside outside zone. They ran RPO at times. They ran a lot of quarterback counters, a lot of quarterback counter reads. And number 10, Marcel Reed, I think it is, young man had a hell of a day, right? I think he was only 2 of 2 for maybe 70 yards passing, but the kid also had 9 carries for 62 yards and 3 touchdowns, man. Jalen Milroe, right? So these guys will give up some plays in the quarterback counter read. That's our bread and butter. It seems to be. I noticed that Texas A&M didn't make no qualms about it. They ran right at them. I noticed that when A&M used a lot of pre-snap motion, it bothered LSU a lot, right? Lots of 2 guys, 1 assignment, right? Lots of 2 guys going with the same motion. Lots of players out of position, creating bad leverage for themselves, giving the offense a hell of an advantage, right? These guys really, really, really were caught out of position and really had bad leverage, which was causing actually allowing the offense to do some great things with that bad leverage. So I'm hoping they do the same things against us. I also noticed that Connor Weigman, I think I'm pronouncing it right. Early in the game, the young man was only 6 of 18. He actually squandered a lot of opportunities, right? He missed several slants that was open. I noticed he missed several switch releases that were open, right? Down the field. He just couldn't get him the ball. You see, they went to Marcel Reed for whatever the reason was, and this kid went off. This kid went off, right? I hope Jalen Milroe and that offense and Coach Sheridan is watching what they done. Um, LSU is really weird to me on defense at times. Some down and distance, they look like a great defensive team. Some they look lethargic and lost and completely baffled. It straight bamboozles me at some of the stuff they do on defense at times. I challenge everybody to go back to the game, and I think it was the first quarter. It was with 2 minutes and 30 seconds, 2:30 left in the first quarter. It was 3rd and 8 and tell me what the hell defense that was, because I have no clue. Um, it was a lot of people standing up. It seemed like all their in the box players was lining up as if they were all tailbacks, and it was just really, really, really strange and bizarre to me. Um, it's ridiculous to me because it is absolutely impossible to have a logical run fit defense when most of your in the box players are standing up 3 or 4 yards off the damn line of scrimmage. So I don't quite understand what the hell that was. Maybe you guys can go back to the game at 2 minutes and 30 seconds in the first quarter. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter. It was 3rd and 8, if I remember the down and distance, and tell me what defense that was that LSU was running, because I am completely lost with that one. I noticed that A&M hurt them a lot with the quarterback counter read. A&M hurt them quite a bit. Um, Quarterback pulls it. They had nobody on quarterback responsibility. Several times, number 10 broke it, and I don't know who had responsibility for him. Again, two people uh, going after assignments that wasn't their assignment. Somebody made a mistake. Anytime you have two people in the same gap, two people, um, I always say somebody's on the wrong assignment. So these guys definitely busted a lot of assignments, but the quarterback counter read definitely worked well. Number 10, Marcel Reed, had a field day with these guys. Um, that counter read done a lot of damage to these guys, man. The center pinning, the tackle wrapping, right? And there was several rush lanes for the quarterback to do his business. I noticed that these guys on defense, they drop 8 and rush 3 quite a bit. These guys also ran a lot of cover 3. I noticed that. I noticed they had some cover 3 mixtures in there. Um, Even when they weren't running it base, they was mixing it in a lot. And A&M done a great job of running a bunch of cover 3 beaters, as we call them. So I was really, really, really excited about uh, Coach Klein at Texas A&M. I think that man done a great job. He was a running quarterback himself, if you guys remember, at Kansas State. Um, I think he done an outstanding job of knowing his personnel and really doing a great job with Marcel Reed. He seemed to be more comfortable with Reed when Reed came in, and they really, really, really done an outstanding job of attacking what LSU gave them. I'm hoping that LSU come out with us and run cover 3 a lot. I'm really hoping. If you know anything about cover 3 is definitely middle of the field closed, right? Um, on your cover threes, it's a defense that they don't really want you to go vertical, if you will. They really don't want you going deep. Um, both of your corners are bailing, right? Your free safety, he got your deep third. You know what I'm saying? Middle of the field closed. Your other safety, he got your deep third over here in the flat over here. Um, let's see, your linebackers got the hooks and the curls. But it's basically middle of the field closed, right? So they done a absolute outstanding job, man, of running what we call cover 3 beaters. Your floods, your quick passes, your hitches, things like that. Because remember, the cornerbacks are bailing, right? So they done an outstanding job at hitting these things, man. That created scores and created scoring opportunities and positive yards. So throwing to the flats, just all these different things that Texas A&M done well, so you have to give Klein his just due. He done an outstanding job and really, really, really was in his bag as far as how to hit these guys, man. Um, I really enjoy the fact that we may play. It's gonna be interesting to see, do we drop 8 and rush 3. It's going to be very, very, very interesting, man, to see that we do that same thing. Texas A&M had that double robber, that variation of trying to keep everything schematic, but at the same time trying to actually get pressure with 3. And believe it or not, every once in a while, Texas A&M done a great job of getting pressure with 3 on Garrett Nussmeier. I was very shocked at that, considering the offensive talent and the athletic ability of LSU's offensive line. So, man, this game is going to be very, very, very important, man. It's going to be very, very, very important. It's going to be important that we attack the seams. I want to see is Jalen Milroe comfortable attack the seams. If these guys mixed up some cover three in there, if they drop eight, rush three, what do we do then? Obviously, we won't attack deep too much. Can we attack the mid-level game? Um, it's gonna be interesting, man. You know, when you really look at Nussmeier, I think even though we probably give up some yardage, the more this guy throw the ball, it seems like he will give you one or two of those things, right? It seems like he will give you one or two interceptions. But the key is to stop the run. Against Ole Miss, these guys did not have a lot of rushing yards at all. These guys didn't have a lot of rushing yards against Texas A&M, a total of 24. So we got to stop the run, man. And to be quite frank, last time I checked, it's only two teams in our conference that were worse than us against the run, and that was Florida and Mississippi State. I think we were giving up 144 plus yards on the ground. So something got to damn give, man. The truth is in the details, man. Something has to give. Um, we've played well at times against the run, and at times we haven't. Right? Florida and Mississippi State are the only two schools that has a worse defense against the run. Right? LSU hadn't ran the ball well, so something has to give. We got to win this football game. I think we got to come out and play well on the offensive front. I think Jalen Milroe need to have one of his Jalen Milroe games with his legs and his arm. The game is there for the taking, man. All the marbles, no excuses. It's time to do it, right? So I do think we'll be able to attack these guys, man. I think we'll be able to run the ball on these guys. Now, here's the question. Will Coach Sheridan, right? Will he go to the run game and stay there? Is he going to be patient enough, man, to stay there and not get all passy, right? Will this guy stay there, man? If we're having some success running the football, will he stay there? And that's going to be the key, man. It's a road game. It's at LSU. These guys have had a bye week just like we have. They're going to be excited to play us. Their fans are going to be nice and juiced up. And we got to go in there and dominate, man. We got to go in there and realize the importance of this game, who it is. I think this game rests on the offensive line. I think the offensive line has to come out with an attitude. I think Tyler Booker need to pull his guys together and let these guys know it's time to put some belts to some asses. Period. I hope Richard Young gets to play. I love how that kid got skinny on that play. He just didn't go forward lean. He got skinny and popped it for 40, 50 yards, whatever it was. I think that kid needs some carries, man. Me personally. Um, so that's just some things I noticed, man. Some things that LSU does on offense and defense. Some ways we can attack them. I do believe we have some success on the ground if Coach Sheridan stayed there. I think they're going to try to bracket Ryan Williams, maybe, possibly. I think some other receivers are going to have to step up and do some things, man. And but I think this is our game for the taking. I think Alabama comes out and reminds the world of who they are this game, right? I'm looking for Alabama to defeat LSU and continue their journey to the college football playoff, man. I thank you guys for tapping in with me, man. You guys mean everything to me. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. JMHO Sports Talk on YouTube and Twitter. Coach Sean, appreciate you. And now it's time to go. Roll Tide to you all. Go Dodgers.